you can be extremely wrong, like Matthew in London, who's 91% of the time wrong, and yet he makes money on the 9% of the time that he's profitable.
Welcome to the Think Profit Podcast. All information in this podcast is for educational purposes only and is not financial or health advice.
Hey, Hugh, so I have a question from a trader that I'm working with. She's saying that she's hesitating right now to take trades after she sees the naked pattern because she wants it to be a 95 to 100% success rate, which she understands is pretty much impossible. And so she wants to be able to spot winners at entry, and this is some skill that she's missing right now, and she wants to improve on. So, what are your thoughts on that? Like this idea that you want to get better at spotting winners at entry.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's something that we all strive for in the beginning, right? You think that trading is A equals B or A equals C kind of thing, but the way I like to look at it is like it's well, number one, once you enter the trade, it's kind of out of your hands. So if you can resign yourself to that fact that okay, this is possibly a random occurrence after I enter this trade, then that can help you a little bit. Also, that I like to look at it as like fuzzy logic, right? You're entering the trade and it has a very high probability of becoming profitable, but it might not. So you have to be willing to take entries that maybe are less than perfect, or you have to test this out obviously, but you can take different types of entries and you can see how they turn out later on. Like you said, do an intuition, journal or whatever, and you'll probably find that the worst looking ones in the beginning are the ones that turn out the best. I mean, that's in my case, that's usually how it goes. So you can't write those off, right? So you have to kind of like realize that the entry is going to be a little bit fuzzy. Not going to be perfect, but you can you can have a good system just by taking those trades also and not having to wait for the so-called perfect setup, because the perfect setup that's shown in a book or a course or a YouTube video or whatever is just the ideal illustration just to teach you what the pattern looks like. It's not actually what the trader is entering usually on a on a daily basis. So that's what I would say. What do you think?
Yeah. I said, look, what you want to do is record your rating for the trade going into it so that you can look back and you can run analyses to see if your intuition is correct or not. So if all your five trades or 99% of your five trades are winners, and um, the ones that are rated a one or a two are largely losses, then you have some edge there in terms of your intuition. But if it's a random thing, or if it's reversed, then, which is probably likely, like that, like they taught the turtles, they said, go, if you can only take one trade before you're fully loaded, and go with the one that you think is less likely to work out, and take that one, because they knew that the turtles would have upside down intuition. But if you have that, if you end up finding out that you do have it, then that's certainly helpful. I think one of the things that she's highlighting in her questions is this progression as a trader to go from trying to be right
Mm,
to getting comfortable with being wrong, if that makes any
yeah,
sense. And
or being
so I said,
profitable, right?
yeah, exactly. So, you can be extremely wrong, like Matthew in London, who's 91% of the time wrong, and yet he makes money on the 9% of the time that he's profitable. He automates it so it doesn't impact him psychologically as much as it would if he were physically entering the trades. But that's a really interesting um, approach, is that he's gotten so comfortable with losing that he's willing to have to run with a 9% win rate. Imagine how many traders can do that. Not very
That's
many,
crazy.
right?
Yeah,
You're in a very small group, right? I
yeah,
mean, obviously
yeah.
he's at 20 to 1. His winners are 20 to 1, right? So that's why.
Hmm.
Yeah. That's why it
Hmm.
works. The math works. But you really have to risk a small amount to survive with those sorts of strategies, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So anyway, the point is, yeah, so I said, look, record what you think is going to happen, see if you actually know what's going to happen then. So this is this is great advice for your trading journal. 1 to 5 scale, one being I don't think it's going to work out at all, five being it's a sure thing, and seeing if that works. And then also the other thing is relaxing going into it. So trying to get in a point of state of mind, and the bet, as you do your analysis. The best way I know to do that is to use brainwave entrainment tracks. And I would use an alpha or a theta. Theta probably more for intuition and trying to come up with solutions. Alpha is probably good enough in for most people. And alpha is like the state that you're in when you're kind of lying back, kind of relaxing at the movie theater, right? That's sort of alpha. And that's when they start hitting you with ads before the
Yeah, yeah,
movie starts,
yeah.
right? Yeah. So
Is that
yeah, watching TV. Yeah.
is that what Jose Silva used in his mind control thing? Was that alpha waves?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Oh,
I
okay.
know. I know what you're talking about, the Silva method. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I would guess theta, but I don't know because it's slightly deeper.
Mm,
Um, I think it's easier to slip things in theta. So yeah, I don't know, but yeah. So delta is too deep though. That will put you to sleep. So
deep
if
sleep.
you're
Yeah.
if you're using, yeah, I actually, and as an aside, and I just uh, showed my sister-in-law this for her kids. My kids, they go to sleep really easily, and the reason why they go to sleep really easy is I get put these headbands on that have ear speakers in them,
Hmm.
and they listen to delta brainwaves. So there's no problems getting to sleep. And parents out there, how do I get my kid to sleep or whatever? My kid doesn't go to sleep. All I mean, this has been a game changer for us. Is just plug in the delta MP3,
Hmm.
and it goes in there. They put their headband on, and it's lights out, man. It's so good. It's so good.
It's so
And for
cool.
adults too. Works
Yeah.
well for adults too. Yeah. Yeah.
Is that
So
the one you created?
I created it. I mean, it's just a software. Anyone can do it.
Mm,
I bought a software, and then the software so I have like beach, river, rain, I think another one's forest that has a bunch of birds and stuff. You just choose the one you like. My son likes the rain one, and my daughter likes the beach one, the waves. So
hmm.
whatever you like. I like the rain one too. It's pretty good. Yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah. So in other words, you can find these tracks, or you can create them if you get the software to put yourself into delta or sorry, theta or alpha, and then going into your analysis and making your trading decisions on your charts. The idea is that you're relaxed and you're going to make a better decision. That's all. Yeah,
Hmm.
or more
Yeah, that's a good
comfortable.
point.
More, yeah, more comfortable taking the trade is the
Hmm.
point. Yeah, which was what with this my student, that was her issue. Is like, I want it to be, I want it to be a sure thing before I take the trade, right? So it's more about, I think, getting comfortable with uh the knowledge that you're going to take a trade, and it's a win or a loss, most likely. Could be a break even, but more likely a win or a loss, and here we go. That's
Hmm.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. All right. Thanks, Walter.
Thank you.